Hey guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel where I uplift you, educate you, and inform you. So with that being said, I'm just a messenger. So good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. It is currently March 15th, 2022, and it is Tuesday going on 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in America. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoying your day, your evening, your morning, regardless of when you're watching this or where you are, as well as staying hydrated by drinking plenty of water and geographically, depending on where you live, staying warm and protecting yourself. So with that being said, I suggest and advise information on this channel. I am a intuitive teacher, spiritual healer. So that being said, I speak from a place of experience, what has helped me best along my journey from my personal experience, as well as informing you guys by giving you guys factual information. With the factual information, I like to use natural resources such as the internet, dictionary, the sources, or any form of informative information for you all to understand. So with that being said, I educate people and I suggest and advise from my personal experiences with natural resources by going outside, from exposures from jobs, opportunities, relationships, and experiences. So no, I do not know everything. No, I do not have a degree. And no, I do not define or allow attachments to determine my worth. So with that being said, I'm just a spiritual individual possessing a soul inside of the flesh supernaturally. So that being said, I'm not my body and I don't allow attachments or physical material items to define my worth as well as you all. So that being said, because I'm suggesting and advising information, if these messages resonate with you, I suggest and advise you stay tuned and be patient. And if they're not, I suggest and advise you continue to live your best life. So that being said, healing is a choice. It is an opportunity, and that it takes time, and that there's no right or wrong way to live your life. So if you are interested in these type of videos, make sure you're giving this video a big thumbs up, make sure you're commenting down below, and make sure you're subscribed or turning on your notification bell if it's not on already. So welcome back for those of you who are returning, and if it's your first time here, welcome. So for this month specifically and strategically, I've been going over the best version of yourself, how to be the best version of yourself in the month of March in the playlist, as well as how I'm to show up and what it's like to be the best version of yourself. So for today's video, we will go over and discuss what should I do with my life. So because the title and topic is something that I'm suggesting and advising to you guys, I like to break down keywords. And the reason why I like to use the dictionary, the source, to break down these keywords is so everyone's able to interpret and process the information as they choose to. So everyone in life does not have the same resources, whether it's financially, emotionally, geographically, intuitively, or supernaturally. So that being said, it's a process in understanding how this information is resonating with you. If it resonates with you, like I said, sit back, get comfortable, and be patient. If it doesn't, don't focus on energy, people, places, and things that do not align with you. So once again, for today's video, we're going to go over and discuss what should I do with my life. So I may switch up the words from the title/topic and use the words like I, we, or you. And the reason why I don't want people to get so content with the actual word and actually understanding the definition is because the words, like any letters in any definition, is just that. So words are words, which means they have individual letters to pronounce the actual sentence that defines what it is that word means. So if that was a lot, just know that words are words, and how you choose to feel and how you choose to process them are going to be on you. So everyone on this channel and anyone who's choosing to subscribe, knowing that this is just general information, one-on-one information, can be, of course, through my social medias, my Instagram and Twitter, and stay in tune for the rest of this month and this year to grow. So what should I do with my life? So I'm going to say, what should you do? First things first, when it comes to living your life, do what works best for you. So me being a spiritual healer, me being a messenger, I'm just here to do that. I suggest and advise information that has helped me heal supernaturally for the collective. So when it comes to living your life and what you should do, first things first, like I said, it's just being mindful of your experiences and your opportunities. So everyone does not have the same background as me. Everyone does not have the same exposures, like I said, financially, emotionally, and supernaturally. So because collectively, anybody who's a human being, anybody who's come across this page, everyone's life is different. So everyone does not have the same Monday through Friday, Saturday through Sunday. The only thing that is guaranteed to us is the structure of time. So Monday through Friday, it may not be the same where you are if you live in London, if you live in Mexico, if you live in the United States, or if you live in Australia. And because everyone has different geographical locations and finances and resources, people can only do what they know. So knowing that when it comes to doing what you want with your life, another thing I want to suggest and advise is to not be so hard on yourself, being patient with yourself. When it comes to healing, being patient with yourself will allow you to understand necessarily the direction that you would like to go in or where you're not. So with that being said, I inform people and I like to use, like I said, natural resources, not to prove a point, not to be braggadocious or to be arrogant or full of myself, but to inform the collective that people can only do what they can with the information they have. So the reason why I like to educate people is so people understand that when it comes to their life, that there are no limitations. If you're limiting yourself because you only know what you have, there's nothing wrong with that, but knowing that if you want to grow, if you want to move forward, you have to be patient. It is going to take time in applying yourself. So another thing I'm going to suggest and advise when it comes to what you should do with your life is actually applying yourself. When it comes to informing yourself, when it comes to taking advice from people, listen to information you feel as though it's going to be most beneficial. So with that being said, when it comes to what you should do with your life, I want to suggest and advise not listening to any and everybody. So if you're aligned with your spirit with mine, listen to these, videos, take notes, be patient and grow together. If you're not, don't watch videos of mine as well as people that you don't focus on. So for example, when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to our surroundings, if you're around people that you don't have any information to resonate with, you don't feel comfortable, removing yourself. Say, excuse me, I no longer have interest, or just removing yourself. And something I like to do is carry a handy pandy deer of scissors and physically remove people that are no longer meant for me. Rather that is a job, rather that is family members, rather that friendships, and knowing that in order for me to heal, in order for you to heal, you have to do what works for you. So everybody and everything is not going to be aligned with myself as well as my intentions, and they're not supposed to. I don't expect that. So when it comes to you living your life, having expectations for yourself, not idolizing or putting people on pedestals, not, like I said, surrounding yourself with people and places and things that you don't have any value or any understanding. So because healing is a choice, it is up to you to comprehend. It is up to you to apply the knowledge. It is up to you to take the decision to figure out what it is. So me suggesting and advising information is just inspiring people individually to know that you only know what you know and that there's room for you to grow. So with that being said, I'm a very teachable person. I know I only know what I know, and I speak from a place of experience. It's really important to not allow people, places, and things such as attachments and labels to define you. So for example, if you allow your degree, if you allow your status, if you allow physical and material items to value your worth, supernaturally and spiritually, you're not going to feel content. You will always feel like you need validation. You always feel like you need things, and not knowing that you are everything you need. So when it comes to feeling yourself, knowing that there's room for growth and that things take time. So in order to process information, you want to understand, what it is that you've gone through, good and bad, and how to go about. So how do you do that? One thing I want to suggest and advise for everyone here is to go ahead and purchase themselves a notebook. Your notebook could look like this. It could look like, or a journal, diary, whatever you like to call it, or some form of piece of paper in a writing utensil or a composition book, whatever you want to call it, and to make yourself a pros and a cons list. And the reason why I suggest and advise everyone purchasing a notebook or a journal, one, for their thoughts and their emotions, as well as understanding what it is that they like. So if you're not able to really express yourself, so you may not have emotional support, or you don't feel comfortable because you suffered from trauma, PTSD, OCD, ADHD, or depression, writing down necessarily the good and bads of your life from childhood, from up until now, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, wherever you feel like you have a lot of anger, frustration, or pain. So on this channel, this is a safe place, meaning we don't judge people. Everyone in life has gone through things, including myself, and I've given you guys certain examples as a civilian here on earth equally that I've gone through. I have not exposed everything that I've gone through because it's a time and a place, and knowing that everybody doesn't need to know everything about you unless you want to present yourself that. So being mindful of what you post, being mindful of who you listen to, and being mindful of what you're putting out into the world. So when you're able to reflect and apply what it is that you like, what you don't like, what you've gone through, what you have experienced, good and bad, one, you're able to be realistic with yourself. You're able to understand what it is that you're feeling and how to go about. So this year specifically and strategically, just like any other year that I've been posting content, I want everyone to understand the best way, and something I want to go over that I've learned to understand when it comes to healing is the 4 A's. So the first A that we have when it comes to healing is acknowledging. So when it comes to experiencing life, nobody in the world asks to be born. So nowhere, well, for the physical, of course. Supernaturally, if you know, you know. But physically in our flesh, none of us asked to be born. So when it comes to experiences, good or bad, if you made certain decisions like myself in our past that I've lacked knowledge from, me being ignorant, being naive, not having the guidance, not knowing who I was or my surroundings, you're going to make certain decisions that affect you, that may cause you emotional damage, that may physically have scarred you, or you may have experienced opportunities and experiences from other people, places, and things. Knowing that you cannot control the world, you cannot control the day, you can only control what you consume, what you entertain, and how you go about. So acknowledging is the first A. The second A is acceptance. So once you're able to acknowledge what you've gone through, how it made you feel, knowing that it's a process, so like who, what, when, where, and why, you're able to accept. So if you got into an accident, and this is the reference that I like to use all the time, is getting into a car accident or a physical accident or learning how to do something for the first time. If you got into a car accident for the first time, if you're learning how to ride a bike, or learning how to drive a car, you have no experience, you have no opportunities, you have no assumption. One thing I want to suggest and advise is removing attachments and expectations. If you never rode a bike before, you're not going to know how to ride a bike until you practice. And that's the same thing when it comes to living your life. So if you made certain decisions and you didn't have the guidance, you're not where you need to be, not being so hard on yourself and accepting that this is your first time learning how to ride a bike. This is your first time learning how to drive a car. This is your first time getting into an accident, and accepting the emotions for what they are. So if you're hurt physically, emotionally, financially, if you suffered from being, homeless, suffering from, regardless of whatever your pain is, knowing that it is okay to feel that emotion in order to heal yourself. Like a physical cut, if you're stabbed or wound, you're going to bleed. And the first thing you need to do is allow the blood, to whatever the cut is. Once you're cut or you're hurt, you allow the blood, to sit but not stay wounded forever. So if someone's cut, immediately they're going to be bleeding. So let's just say I get cut in my stomach. I'm bleeding right now. You let the blood not drain all the way out to where you pass out, but immediately you're bleeding. And the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out where it's coming from. That's the same thing when it comes to healing. You have to understand what happened to and how you made you feel. Allow yourself to feel in pain. So if I just got stabbed right now, if I just got cut and I feel like I'm in a lot of pain, if I want to yell, if I want to scream, and I want to shout, do that. You have to be able to express the pain. You have to allow the pain to be what it is in order for you to sit there and then realize that I need a band-aid, I need some alcohol, and I need to wrap it up. So accept what you've gone through. Once you realize that, hey, I didn't have, the proper tools, I didn't have the resources, and not blaming other people, because when it comes to your life, if no one asked to be born, you are control and you are responsible for your life. So accept that. The third A is adapting. So once you're able to acknowledge, you're able to accept, you will then realize that, okay, this is my first time learning how to ride a bike. This is my first time driving a car. This is the first time I got into an accident. And that I know that, one, if I don't want to continue to make these decisions, or if I don't want to, feel this way, that I have to realize, what's going on, how it's making me feel, and understanding that I now, lastly, the 4A, take some action to move forward. So when it comes to healing and what you should do with your life, challenging yourself. Don't allow your situations to define you. I've been in car accidents. I've been broke. I've had jobs. I've lost parents. I've lost friends. I've been in situations where I've had life or death situations, and not allowing those situations to define me. Like, you're not ADHD, you're not OCD, you're not PTSD. You have just experience, and it's not to invalidate, because there are a lot of people who suffer more than other people. That goes to a bigger picture. Life is about a bigger picture. A lot of people live in a 3D, which means physical material, and they don't understand that it's a big picture. So realizing if you could take a step back and start to heal yourself little bits and bits, you understand it's a bigger purpose. Everyone has a purpose in this life. Whatever their purpose is going to be for them. So knowing that what you should do in life is taking your time, understanding, how important your life is, especially your physical body, because that's all that you have supernaturally. If you know, you know, and expressing gratitude. So realizing that when it comes to living your life, when it comes to doing what you feel like is best for you, take your time. Take your time, and being mindful, like I said, of who you're surrounding yourself with, what you're focusing on, and how you choose to heal. So doing what's best for you and what you should do with your life understanding that if you want to be a superstar, if you want to be a chef, if you want to be a hairstylist and you've never done this before, that it's not possible, but you have to take steps. You have to have the initiative and you have to believe that it is possible. Just because you don't see people around you doing what it is, if those people discourage you, if they want to talk bad about you, first of all, ask yourself, do I even want to be around these people? Are these people that I see myself with in 3 months as well as this week or this day? If the answer is no, taking time to reflect. There are family members, there are friends, there are close people around you that only know what they know. So if everyone's lived in a certain environment and people only have a certain form of education, and people can only understand you from a certain level of consciousness. So until people expand their brain, until people challenge themselves, until people realize that life is about pros and cons, and that the more you look at life as lessons and examples, you will realize that you're not suffering, and that there are no coincidences, and that you are indeed full-blown responsible for your life. And I know that's something easier said than done, but something that has helped me along my journey was actually taking action. If I want to move physically, financially, emotionally, supernaturally, I have to be accountable. I have to, say what I'm doing, mean what I say, knowing that I have a past. Like, for example, my past is the past. If anybody brings anything up about it, I could talk about what I did, but to reiterate, to hold it on, you learning to let go is something too that's going to help you understand when it comes to live your life. And letting go is not easy. Like, it took me 4 years mentally to understand the depth of my loved one, my father, personally, to understand that life is going to go on, and that you appreciate people while you have them in your life, you do the right thing, and that you're disciplined and you're in position. If you're in position, if you know, you have no worries, you have no fears. The only time you get distracted, the only time you're worried, the only time you're stressing is if you're not where you are, you're not doing what you need to do, and you're not living in your purpose or by yourself. So figuring out your purpose is going to take time. It took me 5 years to take some action, to move forward, and to really be where I am now, so I can post these videos for you guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Live your life. Don't forget to say YOLO, as well as follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Ty_guidance. All of that information will be down in the description box below. And I do apologize, you guys, it's a light right here. So if I keep moving or if you see me look at something, I'm trying my best not to look at the light, because it's just really bad. Really, really bright. So until next time, you guys, peace.